Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Friends, I hope you have had a good weekend and I hope this week turns out to be good. I'm starting off this analysis feeling a bit apprehensive because when Friday ended, I was exuberant because the stock market went higher. But right now I'm feeling a little bit worried. I was hoping that I should have sold on Friday. Let us see if the futures and all the data that we see here and headlines give us any more hope or confidence. I would also like to hear from you guys. What do you think? Welcome back, friends. As always, I'm going to start off with the fear and greed index. Then I'm going to go on to the stock market heat map. Then we'll look at the indices. We'll look at the US dollar index. Then we'll look at the MAG 5 plus 2. And then we are going to look at all of our genomic stocks. And in the end, I'm going to say what I think I'm going to do for tomorrow, whether I'm still apprehensive or if I feel emboldened to stay invested in the market. With that said, let's get started. Welcome back, friends. Let's go to the fear and greed index first. Now here we are in the fear and greed index, and you can see the fear and greed index shows 72. So we are inching back up again, but this is good. It's a good region to be in. Fear is good. I mean, fear is a bit worrisome, but greed is good. And then let's go on to the stock market heat map. And in the stock market heat map, it's a wonderful sea of green, except that all the defensives were looking pretty red. So we have energy mostly in the red, consumer defensive also in the red, except for Costco. Utilities were also bad. Basic materials had been having a tough time also. But MAG 5 plus 2 have done extremely well. So I think that's a positive note to go forward with. But I think the real story will be in the price charts. So I want to go to the futures and have a look at Nasdaq futures. And at this point of time, the market is open and it is showing a gain of 0.68. So this is a first good sign for us. Have the same scale always, so I have to do these movements. Sorry about that. Now this is our famous cup and this is our famous handle. So I think the cup and handle is getting resurrected. Let's go and have a look at the indicators and look at QQQ, which is what we use as a proxy for Nasdaq. And here we can see that we have a very, very good progress. And based on what we saw in the futures, I am thinking that we are going ahead to challenge this diagonal line of support of the previous bull channel, which is now a diagonal line of resistance. So we also have a line of support out here, which I have made. You can see this here, this green line. This is something new I added, and this is a new line of support. So I'm thinking that even if we do not cross this red line here, this new line of support can keep on taking us above, because what we are targeting is our first target is this of 443.19, and the second target is 493.55. So this starts to look more possible. This was based on the bull flag theory that this is the bull flag out here. We took a measurement and then we projected it out here, and that's how we have got this particular target. The original bull flag target was only this much. This was the small one, and this was the target which has been achieved already. Now what we are assuming is that this entire leg from here onwards to here, which is this line, is the flag, is the flag post, and then we take that copy of that and put it up here at the point of exit from the flag, and that gives us a target of 442. So this is what we are aiming for next. Looks possible. VIX is also down 5.74% yesterday, but if we were to look at the formation, it's on a steady bull channel, so VIX is only going to go up. VIX will only keep on going up over a period of time. Instead of going up suddenly, it's going up gradually. It may move up and down, but that's where it is at this point of time. Then we look at S&P 500, which was looking good. It has converted a resistance into support out here, and this happens to be at 479.42. And our MACD is looking good because it's going to cross over to the bullish side. Momentum is also very strong and pointed in the right direction. And we have about a little bit of space here before RSI becomes overbought. So I'm optimistic that SPY is going to do tomorrow very well. Dow Jones is also up 1.01%. Again, plenty of room here, same like SPY, looking good to me. US dollar index is down and it's below the 50-day exponential moving average, which means the 9-day is going to support it next. Again, the way I look at US dollar index is that it's kind of giving us a proxy for the interest rate expectation. So when the US dollar index falls, that means the market participants are feeling that the Fed is going to be dovish and interest rate cuts are imminent. After that, we look at Russell, which was up 0.96%, very weak growth, but it has managed to convert the resistance of 191.38 into a support, and we are happy about that. Momentum is just about okay. MACD is moving in the right direction. IWM will also do okay tomorrow, in my opinion. And then, okay, on Monday, in my opinion. Then we come to US oil, which is coming down, which is good. It's still supported by the 9-day exponential moving average, which is at 72.81. And we are presently at 72.93. The market is open. It has gone down by minus 0.62. Friends, as you know, at one point, I bought ExxonMobil. It's down 3% from my purchase price. My calculation at that time was that Feb, March, everything is going to go down and oil might go up. That was my calculation. So on that count, I'm not doing well. But on the other hand, FNGU is doing extremely well for me at this point of time. So I'm happy overall. Put call ratio is showing a little bit of bullishness in my opinion. It's at 0.91. And the breadth of support is increasing slowly, but it's not as high as it was at one point of time. So there is again resurgence out here. But looking at the momentum, it's pointed in the right direction. It has a good chance of going above average. If it does that, then we are in business. And that said, I'm going to go and have a look at the MAG 5+2. NVDA did very well with 4.17% gain, dangerously overbought, and MACD is super bullish. I think that tomorrow probably it might go sideways or a bit down just in order to cool off a little bit. And Netflix was down minus 0.49%. But momentum story looks pretty good to me, and I think tomorrow Netflix will do well. MACD has to improve. And we also have earnings coming up on 23rd of January, so that is just 2 days away. So let us see what happens with the earnings. The estimated EPS is 2.212 per share, and estimated revenue is 8.721 billion. So anything short of that is going to push this down. And then we have support at the 20-day exponential moving average, after which we have support at the 50-day exponential moving average. And ultimately, we have support at 446.82. Which is the horizontal support. Now, next, going on to Meta. Meta was up 1.95%, looking overbought, but it has been overbought for prolonged periods in the past, so I would still hope Meta will do well tomorrow. Tesla was up 0.15%, and we have earnings coming up on 24th of January. Having heard the news about the Red Sea issue, having heard which is bringing Tesla down, and having heard about its situation in China and the sales of BYD and all the negative publicity we see on threads for Tesla, I'm very worried about what the earnings are going to show. Once again, we may be surprised by Tesla because they have always beaten the short sellers. So I'm hoping that it bounces back. I have substantial number of Tesla shares on the Canadian side, so I'm rooting for it to be resurgent. QYLD picked up a lot. 25 cents is a huge, after a very long time, QYLD has done that. It's all on the strength of the MAG 5. Now, next, let us go on to look at Microsoft, which was up 1.22%. Again, overbought and very bullish. Also, the earnings are coming on 30th of January. So when it comes to the magnificent 5+2, I think that the earnings are going to be potentially a situation of buy the rumor, sell the news kind of a thing. So at this point of time, having looked at all these MAG 5 stocks, I'm more inclined to sell tomorrow. I have FNGU, which has done very well. It has crossed over this diagonal line of resistance, which now becomes support. I'm just going to pull this through. So it's looking good. And my target is for FNGU is 283.43. So tomorrow morning, the first thing I'm going to do is get onto the computer, log into my brokerage account, and put a sell order for FNGU because all the Mag 5 are overbought. And if you saw the breadth of support that we had here, let me just go back momentarily to the 50 to the 50 under S&P 500 stocks, which are under just above the 50-day average. The numbers were very high, then they fell down, and the last 2 days we have seen a pickup. But I don't know how much of the juice is coming from here. But definitely the Mag 5 are pulling a lot of weight, because if you look at the stock market heat map, you can see that the consumer defensive was red, utilities were red, basic metals were red, energy was also red predominantly. So there were a lot of sectors which were the defensive sectors which were red. And initially I had thought the money came back from the bond market back into stocks. And that's what I said last time. If that was the case, what would prevent it from rotating into consumer defensive, energy, utilities, and basic materials like it did before? Given the fact that we have many of the companies in our watch list, the Mag 5, very close to, highly overbought and almost, beyond their all-time highs in most cases. So if you look at all of them, they are either overbought extremely or above the 70% mark on the RSI, except for Tesla. Tesla is still a very weak out here. But if you look at Microsoft also, it's also doing extremely well, and it's coming to this red line of resistance from where it has been pushed down before. So if Microsoft goes down, it's going to push down FNGU. If you look at Apple, Apple has way to go. But we have some 3 or 4 days of good growth in Apple. So there could be a possibility that somebody might decide to take profit. On the other hand, we are seeing double bottom out here, which is a very bullish sign. So Apple could propel FNGU up further. Google also is very close to being overbought, and Amazon has got still some more room. So I've changed my mind. I'm going to wait with FNGU. I'm going to wait and see what happens until 11 o'clock. If things look good until 11 o'clock, I might keep it. In other words, I'm not going to take a decision to sell before 11 o'clock. Usually the market starts changing somewhere around 10:30. 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I think there is a new set of people who come into the market at that time. In the morning, I think it's a mature hour and it's not reflective of what's going to happen for the rest of the day. The trend changes at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to wait until 10 to 11 and then decide what to do. It's in a whole lot of profits. So maybe I can take the profit and sit aside, because my original thesis was February, March is going to see the bottoms. So that's what I'm thinking, my friends. And now let us go on to genomics. PACB up 3.62%, and it's starting to pick up. It has got a good chance of going further up. MACD is turning around towards the signal line, but unless it crosses over the signal line, we are not going to be bullish. And for that to happen, the momentum has to go up further. There should be more interest and more buying at this stage, and then it will look very good. Then you go on to DNA, it's got a gain of 2.54%. It's still at 1.21. Maybe I might pick up a little bit of DNA tomorrow. The MACD is moving in the right direction. Momentum is also picking up. But any time the momentum is above average, somewhere around this line out here, then I'm enthused about a stock. Illumina was up 1.22%. It is still in this wedge, the bullish Bennett, and I'm pretty confident that it's going to break on the upside because momentum is also looking pretty good. NTLA was up 1.23%. Momentum is picking up, but it's still not above average, so I'm not that enthused about it. Prime is up 1.72, just bounced off the bottom, and I think it's a dead cat bounce. We'll have to see what happens tomorrow. IMTX was up 0.97%. Momentum is looking good. MACD has got to turn around, then it can do well. Beam was up 0.98%. Momentum is turning to the right direction. MACD is also moving in the right direction. Beam has a chance of picking up tomorrow. ARKG is up 0.24%. Looking a bit flat out here. CRISPR Therapeutics was up 1.66%. Momentum is looking decent. It has to go above average. It's just at average. MACD is also moving in the right direction. CRISPR can do something better tomorrow. And also it's on this bullish pennant. So it has got to break out on the upside. The good thing is that in the last trading session, it has broken above the resistance of 61.66 and converted that into a support. So this is a movement of strength. And it has got a strong resistance from the 9-day and the 20-day exponential moving average above. The 9-day is sitting at 62.44 and the 20-day is sitting at 62.85. So if CRISPR manages to break through that tomorrow, then we are more or less guaranteed that we are going to break through this pennant, and then our resistance will be 66.49. That said, Editas was down minus 0.98% yesterday. Very weak on the charts. Nano was up 2.46 yesterday. I think it's a dead cat bounce, and VERV was up. VERV was down minus 3.08%, looking very weak on the charts. ALLO was down 3.44%, still above average. So I'll still have a little bit of hope for ALLO, but it's pointed the wrong direction in terms of momentum, and it looks poised to go below average, in which case the bets are off. And CRBU was down 4.83%. This is a good stock, and it's trying to get strength from and support from the diagonal line of resistance, which is right now at 5.10, and tomorrow it will be at 5.09. So Caribou could pick up tomorrow just because it has been losing yesterday. So those companies which gained yesterday or on Friday are likely to lose a little bit because there will be a bit of profit taking. And the ones which were very red yesterday are likely to become green on Monday. NVTA was down 4.67%, and it's on the line of support, which is 0.41. NVTA is looking very, very bad right now. And I hope that it bounces off this line of support, or else NVTA is going to be in big trouble. The momentum is very weak. MACD is also weak. Bluebird was down minus 8.99%. I'm pretty sure that tomorrow Bluebird is going to be gaining a good amount. It will recoup at least half of what it has lost. I think there will be bottom fishers coming in and moving it up. And if it manages to cross over the 9-day exponential moving average, which is sitting at 1.40, I'll be a little bit happy. I would look at picking up a little bit of Bluebird shares tomorrow. So that, my friends, is my plan of action for tomorrow. I hope I have the nerve to wait until 10 o'clock with FNGU. I always believe a bird in hand is better than two on bush. That's why I have taken profits wherever I could in the past. So this is my third dip on FNGU. The first dip was with 160 shares. I sold 60 on profit and then waited for selling the other 100 on profit. And now I have just got around 50 shares on FNGU. I have to take some profits. Maybe I'll sell half if I'm undecided. But if I see any signs that markets might go down, I may sell the whole thing and sit on the sidelines with the cash, given that all the shares are so much overbought. So with that, my friends, I'd like to end this video here. Thanks and have a great day. Bye for now.